welcome to Meeting Mapper 360. Plan, execute, follow up all your meetings in Salesforce. As you can see, I'm in an opportunity right now, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new meeting, the planning stage. I'll click on New Meeting. It's going to bring me into my new meeting page, and I'm going to give it a name of Initial Meeting. I can choose a template that best describes the type of meeting that I'm having: discovery, follow on, ID to the decision makers. And what this does is fills out the goals and the objectives for the meeting for you based on the template. I'll say it's discovery meeting. I'm going to give it a location of Allen, Texas. It's already linked to my opportunity. And a start time. I am planning it in the future, so I'm going to say in June 5th. And the meeting is planned for 1 p.m., 1 hour, and 30-minute duration. What am I using if I'm going to use a web conferencing tool? GoToMeeting, a WebEx, Uber Conference. If one's listed here that you use, you can add it to this list very easily. Remote. What type of meeting am I having? Is it on-site with a customer? What type? And again, you can add these based on your sales methodology or what you want to track, because everything in Meeting Mapper is structured data and being able to be tracked and reported on. I'm going to save the meeting. As you can see, it's going to bring me up into my meeting page where I'm already added in the meeting with the color blue as a participant. I want to go ahead and add some meeting attendees from my customer. I'm going to go ahead and add Jane right here and Howard right here. And you can see I've already had a meeting with Jane and Howard in this opportunity. I already know their stance and their role based on the last meeting. This could change in this meeting, but I have a place to start with. And I'm going to go back into the meeting. As you can see, Jane comes in green for the for stance, Howard yellow, neutral, and a flag. We have two types of flags in Meeting Mapper, red and yellow. Yellow indicating a person's role and stance is such that he can put a hiccup in the opportunity or slow it down or do something adverse to the opportunity. Red indicates the role and stance is he could just kill the whole opportunity because of the role that he plays inside of the project or in the account or the opportunity. And it's all based on the role and stance when you select it. I'm going to go ahead and click on Jane here, and you can see that she's green as for. Now, when you say that somebody is for what you're trying to sell or discuss, the happy ears goes right out the window. You have to justify why this person is for. They said they need it. They said they'll buy it. That's usually pretty good. And these are all based on your sales methodology. What's the level of participation? What roles does she play? As you can see, she has a champion role. But the champion role is a very coveted role and has a lot of power for you in an opportunity. So you have to justify why is she a champion? How have you tested her? And again, this is all based on your sales methodology. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. So I look over my meeting. I got the correct time. I got the right people added. Now I want to go ahead and send out the invitations. So I click on Save. And what you're going to see here is going to pop up a dialog box to say, hey, would you like to sync any meetings or next steps and action items that are people in this meeting are still open from the last meeting? So I'm going to say yes. And if there's any meetings or next steps that are still open, it's going to bring down a drop down, and I would select that meeting. So everything is good. We don't have any brought over. So now I'm going to send out my invitations. Hit send invitations. So it sends out the invitations with the goal, the objectives, and the meeting location and a link to the conference tool you're using. Now I also want to go ahead and send out an agenda. Before I send out an agenda, I want to add some notes to it. So I click on the notes section, or little tab here, and I'm going to type in here, bold, please have a projector. We do support rich text formatting in Salesforce or Meeting Mapper now. So bold, underline, italicize, strike through, links, pictures, and basic standard. Rich text, that means you can do all your meeting notes in Word and then copy and paste them right in here to Meeting Mapper. While we're in this section, you'll see that there's notes. These are public. These will be seen everybody that you do the public export. And we have internal notes, which will only be seen in the internal or the internal export or private export. You don't want everybody to see these because they're their internal notes that you've taken in the meeting. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now I want to send out the agenda. Click on agenda. Select who I want to send it to, everybody or maybe just myself first, just to read it, make sure that I've captured everything that I want to put in the agenda. I can go ahead and send it. It's going to send it to me in a PDF, look at it, review it, and then go from there. So now is the day of the meeting. I'm all excited and I'm starting to take some notes. Again, open the notes section here, the little tab, and I've got my public notes, all my private notes. I can add a picture, a link, everything that I can do in Word, for example, I can do pretty much here. There's some different things with font, but you get the picture. And then here, an internal notes to, also in internal notes, if you added anything into the template that you want to be covered in the meeting, you would put those in the internal notes. I would do a quick read and know exactly what's going on. In addition to the meeting templates, what I forgot to mention is you can assign meeting prerequisites. So the person organizing the meeting would get an email saying you need to accomplish these things before the meeting happens. So again, in the planning phase, now we're in the execution. Now in the meeting, I'm going to add a next step or action item to somebody. I want to go ahead and give one to Jane, and Jane needs to send me the location for all of the devices that we're going to put in their environment. Action item, and I need that by, let's say, the 6th, by 1 o'clock. And save it. And then I'm also going to give myself one. As you can see, I'm assigned to it because it adds it to my Salesforce calendar so I can make sure that I follow up with Jane on that. And I'm going to give myself another one if I need to send her some pricing information. Let's see if it refreshes here. I add myself an event. I need to send that out a little bit earlier to her. I'll say that on the 3rd. And again, 1 o'clock is good, or I can put it 2 o'clock, whatever time I want, and send pricing. So I'm all good. They haven't been started yet, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and in progress mine and in progress hers and save them and jump back in to my meeting. So I've sent out my next steps and action items. They'll get an email, or I'll get an email with both of those, and now I'm ready to complete my meeting. Let's say during the meeting I didn't complete all my objectives. So I just have to click on one of these right here, and I say need more time. Save it. And again, list it. I know exactly what objective I did not meet. And I want to complete the meeting. I click on completed here. It's going to bring me up a little window saying, hey, based on this template, there are some meeting insights that you need to determine what resonated with the customer, what was really hot in this meeting, what did they really like. So I'm going to say they liked desktop now, ease of administration, and the business value. Going next, well, out of this remaining list, what didn't resonate? And maybe everything resonated, but some things bubble to the top, and maybe some things didn't. So maybe you want to say that nothing was really bad, so I'm going to leave this blank and go to done. Now you're going to come up with a window. It's going to say, hey, would you like to be able to score this meeting? Because it's important to put a number behind a meeting instead of, hey, I had a great meeting, which really means nothing. That you had a great meeting, but what does that mean? I'm going to hit yes here, and I'm going to choose a number. I'm going to say, you know what? I think it's a number 5, and I look at the reasons, oh, I didn't close the deal and I didn't complete the project, or anything you want to add in here based on your sales methodology. So I want to go down here and number 4. I'm going to say, okay, I did move it to the next stage. I feel like we've accomplished some things. Save it. Now I want to export the meeting notes to the meeting participants in the public view. So I hit meeting export, click on it. Then we'll go ahead and very sanitized already, nothing to get you in any trouble. I'm going to go ahead here and add in the private notes. And as you can see, that it's unsanitized. My boss doesn't, hey, why is she 4? Why is she a champion? Everything's in here so they can read it and continue with their business, and I can get on to my next meeting. Now, as you'll see here, we not only update this meeting page, but we also update the opportunity, the account, and the contact. So one interface updates everything in Salesforce. So with Meeting Mapper 360, you plan, execute, and follow up. Leave nothing undone. Have a great day. Thank you.